Jack Grealish, he single-handedly dragged Aston Villa out of the Championship and restored pride to his boyhood club. He became a vital part of the Manchester City machine that won the treble. He's one of the most talented English players of his generation. Or is he? Is there a lingering bitterness when you think about Jack Grealish? Yes, he's the brightest star at victory parades, always the life of the party. But the real Jack? The real story runs much deeper than a wild rock star persona. And today, we're going to explore it. What really broke Jack Grealish's career? Injuries, the wrong system, the crushing weight of a £100 million price tag? Or is the truth even darker? Before we begin, ask yourself, are you sure you want to see this? Because once you do, you might never look at Jack Grealish the same way again. Chapter 1. Playing for two lives. Jack Grealish wasn't just born to play football. He was born carrying someone else's dream too. Growing up in Solihull, a town just outside Birmingham, Jack was the third of 5 children in a tight working-class family. His life from the very start was shaped by both love and loss. When Jack was still a toddler, his younger brother Keelan died at just 9 months old from sudden infant death syndrome. Jack was too young to fully understand, but the absence left a permanent mark on him, one he would later describe as a constant presence in his life. A reason to fight, a reason to honor the life that was taken too soon. He wasn't just playing for himself, he was playing for both of them. From a young age, football was Jack's escape. At just 6 years old, he joined Aston Villa's academy, the club his entire family supported. By the time he was 8, Villa coaches knew they had something special. A player with low center of gravity, silky close control, and an instinct for beating defenders that you simply couldn't teach. But it wasn't just his talent that made him different. It was his fire, his absolute refusal to be ordinary. He wasn't the biggest, he wasn't the fastest, but Jack had something deeper, a fight inside him that no coach could create. As he moved through the Villa youth system, coaches spoke about his street football mentality. Fearless, creative, willing to take risks that others wouldn't dare. He wore his socks low, dribbled like a futsal player, and carried himself with a strange mix of boyish charm and ruthless ambition. Every game was a tribute, every training session a chance to prove that he and the brother he lost were still dreaming together. By the time he was a teenager, Jack was already being whispered about as the future of Aston Villa. Not just a great young player, but a symbol, a hometown boy who could carry the pride of an entire city on his back. And in 2014, at just 18 years old, he made his senior debut for Villa, fulfilling a dream that was never truly his alone. He stepped onto the pitch carrying not just the hopes of a club, but the silent memory of the brother who never got the chance. Chapter 2. The King of a Broken Kingdom. When Jack Grealish broke into the first team, Villa was a shadow of the club he had dreamed about as a boy. The great nights in Europe, the proud tradition, all of it was fading. The team was battling relegation. The fans were divided. The leadership at the club was lost. Into that chaos walked a skinny teenager with low socks, messy hair, and fearless ambition. At first, he was just a spark, a few clever touches, moments of energy in a tired team. But slowly, Jack became more than a prospect. He became a symbol of something Villa fans desperately needed: hope. Even as Villa crashed out of the Premier League in 2016, Jack stayed. When bigger clubs circled, when agents whispered in his ear, he stayed. And when the club dropped into the brutal grind of the Championship, it wasn't the high-priced signings who carried Villa forward. It was Jack, wearing the captain's armband, leading a broken club back from the dead, taking hits, taking fouls, getting kicked, bruised, mocked, and still getting up. During the 2018-19 season, Jack led Villa on a record-breaking 10-game winning streak. He dragged them into the playoffs, and in May 2019, under the Wembley lights, Aston Villa won promotion back to the Premier League. For Jack, it wasn't just a victory, it was a resurrection. He wasn't just the best player on the pitch. He was the heart, the lungs, the soul of a reborn club. In Birmingham, he was a king. In England, he was a rising star, and bigger forces were already waiting to claim him. Chapter 3. The £100 million crown, When Manchester City activated Jack Grealish's £100 million release clause in the summer of 2021, it wasn't just a transfer, it was history, the most expensive English player of all time, the face of a new generation, the symbol of a club chasing perfection. The media exploded, the headlines were endless, the expectations almost unbearable. Jack wasn't just changing teams, he was changing worlds. At Villa, he was a king. At City, he was stepping into a machine, a team that demanded precision, patience, and quiet discipline. From the moment he signed the contract, Jack was no longer playing just for himself. He was playing for a £100 million price tag. He was playing for every critic waiting for him to fail. He was playing for every tabloid headline eager to tear him down. His first few months at City were a blur of adaptation. New teammates, new tactics, new rules. No more carrying the ball for 50 meters, beating 5 defenders. No more chaos, no more freedom. In Pep Guardiola's system, every pass had a purpose. Every movement was choreographed. And Jack, the freestyler, the creator, the unpredictable magician, was forced to become a cog in a ruthless machine. He scored on his home debut. He won a Premier League title. But something felt muted. He was playing well. He was working hard. But he wasn't lighting up games the way he had at Villa. The crown weighed heavy, and Jack Grealish was learning, painfully, that sometimes the dream you chase isn't the dream you find. Chapter 4. Trapped in Pep's machine. At Aston Villa, Jack Grealish was free. At Manchester City, he was programmed. Pep Guardiola's system was a masterpiece of control. Every player had defined zones. Every movement was calculated. There was no room for improvisation, no space for chaos, no need for a maverick. Jack understood it, he accepted it, and yet, it changed him. Instead of charging forward with reckless brilliance, he now slowed down. Instead of trying the impossible, he recycled the ball. Instead of owning the spotlight, he blended into the background. Guardiola praised him publicly. He keeps the ball, he controls the game, he's perfect for us. And it was true. In the cold language of tactics, Jack was doing his job. But for those who remembered the old Jack Grealish, the risk taker, the game breaker, something had been lost. The moments of magic became rarer. The fearless runs were shorter. The unpredictability almost gone. Fans noticed. Critics noticed. Was this really the same player? The £100 million man who once tore through defences like they weren't even there? Or had the machine taken away the very chaos that made him special? Jack wasn't failing, but he wasn't flying either. He was trapped between what he had been and what he was now expected to become. Chapter 5. Living between two worlds. Jack Grealish today lives in two realities. In one world, he is a champion, a Premier League winner, a treble winner, a vital part of one of the greatest club sides ever assembled. In another world, he is a ghost of the player he used to be, the fearless boy from Solihull, the street footballer who played for two lives. At City, Jack found discipline, trophies, stability. But he lost something too. He lost the madness. He lost the chaos that once made him unstoppable. Every title, every medal comes with a bittersweet taste. The statistics tell one story, appearances, trophies, minutes played. But the feeling tells another. He is respected, but he's not feared. He is admired, but he's not adored in the same way he once was. Jack Grealish didn't fail, but maybe, just maybe, the football world demanded that he become something he was never supposed to be, and in trying to fit in, he left a part of himself behind. Jack Grealish was never meant to be ordinary. He wasn't designed to fit a system. He was designed to break it. He didn't disappoint the world. The world simply asked him to stop being who he truly was. And maybe the saddest part is this: we still celebrate his success. But deep down, we miss the Jack who never cared about being perfect. We miss the chaos. We miss the magic. We miss the dreamer.